Whether you're used to it or not, you're gonna have to start getting some work done at home. I'm gonna teach you these 4 tips to get work done from home with your kids around, and you can do it without going crazy. Look, it's a health crisis, and everybody is being forced to work home if they can. And for some people, this is a kind of new thing. For me, I've been doing it for a while now. You see, I started my business back in 2001, and when I first started it, I really wanted to create this huge business, this big building, lots of employees, all of that. But when 2013 rolled around, I was faced with a decision. You see, my son was being born that next year, and I had to make a choice. For me, it was really simple. I could work from home, I could be around when my children were there, watch them grow up, and I could make an income from home. Even better than that, I didn't have to pay the costs involved with sending my kid to daycare. It was a win-win situation for me, and with my wife just finishing her residency and becoming a doctor, it was an easy choice for her to have the income that came in by paycheck and for me to have the income from home that came in sporadically. Over time, I got different techniques that actually helped me work from home with my kids around. And I did it without going crazy or any more crazy than I already am. So let me just share with you these 4 tips. Tip number 1, you want to talk to your children. Tell them about what's going to happen the next day. Let them know that you have to work and that you will be taking some time away from them to concentrate on what you need to get done. Now, this is a very simple conversation, and when you do that, you can actually tell them how you're going to be working and even where you're going to be working. You should have a place designated in the house or different places where they see you, and then they can actually know that you're working when they see you in that situation. I like to have my laptop with me because I like to work inside sometimes outside on the porch like I am now. So by having that option, I get to show them the laptop and they know whether I'm working or not. Once they understand that mommy has to work or daddy has to work, it's really about how they react to that. And we'll talk about that in our next step. Tip number 2, you want to set a schedule. And setting a schedule is both for you, setting a work schedule, and for your child. You want to set them an activity schedule. Now, activities can be anything from arts and crafts to reading a book to being on a tablet or watching some television to any kind of outdoor activity, maybe sports or some kind of obstacle course. Now, you want to mix these things up because obviously your kids can get really bored. But you also want to save and schedule the things that get their attention most at the times where you have your most important things and you may need to have some space where you don't want to have interruptions. This is very important, especially when you have conference calls, virtual meetings, things like that you have to attend to, and you might need half an hour or an hour of uninterrupted time. Now, your child should be used to the space that you have saved or the fact that you have your laptop open to indicate that you're working, but you're still going to get some kind of interference and some interruptions from time to time. Now, this is where we want to have some kind of mutual respect. You don't want to have your kid busting through the door screaming and crying while you're on a conference call. So you can gradually teach them over time to knock on the door, to walk into the room and be silent. My son likes to walk into the room. He'll walk in, he'll kind of wave at me, not make any noise, try to get my attention. And from that, I can respond well with something like this if I need him to be quiet for a second, just so I can finish up what I'm doing. Now, this is kind of a give and take where you have to teach your kids what to do and what to expect. And how you react is also important as well. If they forget some of this and they come busting through the room yelling and screaming, if you yell and scream back, it's just gonna enhance the situation in a negative way. You wanna make sure you stay calm and stay collected. Use it as a teachable moment to show them how you would like them to interrupt if they really have to. By having this set up in the beginning, you're setting yourself up for success, and even if you get an interruption here or there, you're able to handle it and respond to it rather than to react negatively to it. Rule number 3, you want to be flexible. Now, Obviously, we have the schedule set for ourselves that we want to stick to, and we have the schedule that we hope our kids stick to as well. Guess what? They're kids, and it doesn't work that way all the time. So you need to be flexible. And I'm not only talking about being flexible when they come and interrupt you and when things happen. I'm talking about being flexible when you're not getting the work done you want to do, your attention is split, you might be doing a task that requires all your attention, but they're being too loud in the background. This is where you might have to shift your schedule around to pick up something else to do, or in the case where you really can't get anything done and they really do need your attention, you can take the time to put your work on pause and deal with whatever it is your child has going on with them. Now, I know this is tough, especially since you're doing the work to earn income for them, right? But at the end of the day, this time is important to spend with your kids, and it means more than any amount of money. You see, to your kid, it doesn't matter whether you have $1 or $1 million. It's about spending that quality time with you as a parent. So we need to keep track of that. We need to value that. And at those times when we're about to lose it and we're trying to get things done and they're at the same time pulling at our attention, we just need to let go. There are other ways to get things done rather than to bang our heads against the wall when something isn't working. So be flexible with your scheduling. Be flexible enough with your schedule that you can put things down, save things for later, and I can actually show you a trick that will help get that solved. And number 4, the thing you want to do to get your video shot while you're working at home with your kids around is work at night. One of the things I like to do is I like to call it getting a jump start on my day. My kids generally wake up at 6 a.m. So if I wake up a couple hours before they get up, it gives me a nice chance to get some things done before they wake up. That way I get to get a nice jump start on the day, get things done, get good momentum before I start dealing with daddy this, daddy that. It's a great way to roll into the day. It's a great way to not be frustrated when you need to get things done. Another thing you can do in terms of working at night is just work the graveyard shift. Now, you can do this multiple ways. One way you can do it is as soon as your kids go to bed, you can start picking up the pace and working then. And besides the jump start, in general, it's great to work while your kids are asleep. Now, nap time is a good time during the day to work, but for those times where you need a little bit more time to work, I would suggest sometime when they're in bed, either right after they go to bed, and you can work for a few hours after they go to sleep, or if you wake up early enough before they wake up in the morning. Having this time to yourself where you're not interrupted is going to be great in terms of getting things done. And in terms of getting frustrated with your kids for interrupting you and stopping you from getting your work done, this is ideal. This is the one time where you can really concentrate on what you're doing and not be split in your attention. So go ahead, make sure you get either the jumpstart schedule or you work a complete graveyard shift in working home with your kids. It'll be good for you in the end. Even if you're tired during the day when you're interacting with them, you're at least not going to be thinking about all the work you have to get done. If you really want to get things done, you really have to have some order around how you do things. You have to have that discussion with your child. Tell them that when mommy and daddy has the laptop open, or mommy's in their office, or when daddy's in his office, it's going to be work time, and we shouldn't have any interruptions. From there, you want to set your schedule. Make sure you know what you're supposed to be doing and at what time, and let them know what they're supposed to be doing as well. Now, there will be some interruptions from time to time, but use those as teachable moments where you can teach them the proper way to interrupt you without causing a huge commotion, especially if you're on any kind of call or any kind of virtual meeting. Be flexible. Things are going to come up, your child is going to need you, and you might have to put the work down for a little bit. It's okay to put your work down for a minute, reorganize your schedule to make it work for the real life that you're dealing with, and to have that time with your kid, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get that time back, and it's important to them for their development, for their emotions, and for just having a parent around. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to emphasize the time when your kids are sleeping. Now this can include waking up a couple hours earlier than them to get a jump start to your day, or it can include doing the full graveyard shift. When your kids go to sleep, you're doing the work. This will allow you to get a lot of things done when your kid's at home, especially when you have jobs and tasks that require your all-out attention. So go ahead and use these 4 tips. Get things done. Make sure that at the same time you're getting your work done, you're also enhancing the lives of your children, because they're the ones who you're doing it for in the end. All right, go ahead, try it out. Please like this video, please share it, and please leave some comments. Let me know how it's working for you and how we can help you get things done with your kids at home. I know this is new for a lot of people, but by starting with tips like this, you have a structure to actually get things done, and you're not going to be taking out your anger and frustration on your kids while you do it. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Make sure you use those tips and go out there and get lots done. Thank you.